Ever felt like your manifesting isn't working? Or maybe it's not meant for you? Or maybe you're just not doing it right? In this episode, I'm going to share with you my 3 favorite manifesting stories to help inspire you to keep going. One of the stories is something that happened crazy fast. Another one is just in case you feel like maybe the dream you have might be the wrong one and you're not quite sure what to do with it. And finally, the last one is going to share with you that manifesting is working even if you're not trying. These stories are stories that I want to share with you to help inspire you to keep going. These are stories I share with my clients all the time, and now they're here for you. Welcome to the Ignite Your Life podcast. My name is Erdman-Luntz. I have been a yoga educator and life coach for over 30 years, and I've been specializing on manifesting law of attraction topics for the last 15 years or so. These stories are the ones, well, the first 2 are from clients that I had in the past, and the final one is my own story and my very favorite one. So I can't wait to share it with you. I'm going to grab a cup of tea and we are going to sit down. This is going to be a nice little story time for us all. Welcome. Let's get into it. I do kind of feel like I'm settling for story hour here. For those of you who are listening to this and not watching it on video, I am snuggled in my reading chair in my bedroom. But I feel like this is story hour and I want to share it with you as a story time. Okay, so I did have a hard time coming up with the 3. The last one I for sure wanted to share with you, and I was just going to do this episode on that one story, which is my own story, which we'll get to in a little bit. But then I thought about these other 2 and really thought I wanted this story time, if you will, to be an opportunity for you to get inspired, and I wanted to share stories that might resonate with you and get you inspired. Okay, the last one's a little bit more just my story, but it's a really cool one. It's a really cool story. Okay, story number 1. This client came to me and I cannot remember her precise reason for wanting to coach with me. It was not around her career. She was very happy in her career. She worked for a large bank, a large international bank, and she enjoyed that work. We worked together for about a year, and at one point in the middle of our coaching, she came to one of our sessions. I meet my clients on Thursdays. So it's a Thursday. That actually is relevant to the story. And she said, you know what? I want a new job. I don't want to be in this one anymore. It's not making me super happy. But, and this is important too, I don't want to redo my resume. That is just so tedious. And I actually like this bank and I want to stay in this bank. And I said, fantastic. Clarify what it is you want. And she started with what I don't want. Well, I don't like this in my position. Great. So what do you want? Go through each one of those points, outline what it is that you want. And then we ended our session for that week. The next week she comes into our session and is like, okay, so I have a new job. This is what happened. On Friday, she went out with a girlfriend who also worked in the same bank and said, I'm ready to move positions. I'm ready to be in a new position in this bank. And the friend said, I know exactly the position that is perfect for you. I kid you not, this is so fantastic. On Monday, she had an interview. On Tuesday, she had an offer. So it didn't even take a full 7 days. We're really talking 5 days, and she had a whole new position. And that's how it can happen when you have no resistance. Like, she was very comfortable in her job. She knew she was competent. She knew she was valuable. She didn't have any resistance at all to finding this new position. She knew it would be better for her and the company if she could fit into this, this new space where she was going to feel more comfortable. And she didn't have to redo her resume. She didn't have to leave that bank. So that is what attraction is all about, right? She opened herself up to the possibility, and us talking about it helped her refine it. So that's really important, so that she could be led to that perfect position. And there it is, right? Now, I also want to point out that that's where our work lies in manifesting, is we have to let go of the resistance. We have to let go of the part of us that says, no, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I don't have the skills. I don't deserve it, blah, 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 whatever that is. And you do have areas in your life where you manifest easily as well, right? Like where it unfolds easily. Okay. All right, story number 2. This one is just in case you feel like you're worried that that dream might not be the right one for you. You're going to love this. So I've been working with this client for about 6 months or so. Again, I don't actually remember what we were working on specifically. And again, it was not around her career, but this came up around her career. So she was in a position she really loved, really enjoyed it, but she had this dream position that was in the back of her mind that she really felt like that is what would be her ultimate dream. And she was offered this position. And she came to me and she said, okay, here's this dream job, but I love the job I'm in. I love my coworkers. I love the work. I love my supervisor. It's just such a great position. But here's this one out there that I really thought that I really think I want to have, right? So I said, what happens if you don't take it and you stay where you are? And she goes, you know what? I will always wonder if that's what I should have been doing. I should have done. I said, then there's your answer, right? She's like, yes. So she took the position. This is so funny. She was fired after 2 weeks. And she said, honestly, I would have quit had I not been fired. That was not the right place for me. Her previous position was still open. She slid right back into it. It was like she'd taken a 2-week vacation and she was back to her work. And she said, I'm so glad I did it because now I know. I don't long anymore for this other position. I am 100% present in this position because I know it is the perfect place for me. So if you're wondering around your own dream, is this the right one? I'm not sure. I always encourage people, keep going for it because you will be directed, right? As long as you're moving towards something that feels good, you might be second guessing it, but it still feels good. You're going to be guided along the way to what is the better position. And maybe it is the perfect place for you, the perfect dream. You just got to keep moving forward. Hey, I just wanted to quickly interrupt our story time to ask you if you've subscribed to this channel yet. I know I have a lot of people who watch these videos and haven't yet subscribed to the channel, and it helps me so much and it's totally free for you. So if you're looking for more inspiration around manifesting and how to bring yoga, essential oils into the process, especially if you are a midlife woman, then I am your gal. And if you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below, tell me what you've enjoyed. And if you have a friend who could use this information, do me a favor, please, and send it to them. All right, let's get back to my very favorite story. Story number 3, and my favorite manifesting story of all, because it's mine. And I wanted to share this one with you, first of all, because it's a good one. And second of all, it happened before I even knew about manifesting. This is how I met my husband, okay? So I was in graduate school. It was 1995, if you can imagine, a long time ago. And I was dating my college boyfriend of 5 years. We'd been together a long time. And in early fall, I started to question that relationship. I knew he didn't want to marry me. I was 25. You know, you're at that age where you're like, do I really want to keep going forward? Even though we were doing fine in our relationship, we were happy, I knew I was not his future. And I was not his life, like his permanent partner. And I spent about 6 months hemming and hawing and finally broke up with him. And it just felt right? It just felt right. As my mom says, I mourned for about a week. And about 2 weeks later, after I broke up with him, like really, it was fairly quick, but you know, I had been going through the process of letting go for months of this relationship. I woke up on a Monday morning. I still remember so vividly. It was a Monday morning and I thought, I'm good. Life is good. Like if I'm meant to be alone, I'm okay. I was in graduate school. I was living in downtown DC in a great apartment. I had good friends. I loved my program that I was in with graduate school. I just like, this is good. Life is good. But God, here's my conversation. If you want me to be with a man, here are a few things that I would like. Still kind of laughing that I'm here telling God what is good for me or the universe, divine, whatever. And I wrote down 9 things. To this day, I wish I had kept this list, But I remember some of them. One of them being I wanted the person to understand why yoga was so important to me, that I was on a spiritual path and I was growing. I didn't want it to threaten them. It was something that was challenging for my college boyfriend. I didn't want him to be threatened by any of my success in life because I had plans for my life. I didn't want him to be a jealous person because I have male friends and I often like to go out with friends and a male friend, and I wanted him to not be jealous of that. I wanted him to be older. My previous boyfriend was 3 years older than I was, and it still wasn't old enough. I just couldn't handle an immature male mind anymore. And I had 9 things on this list. Monday, right? You still with me? I got asked out 5 times that week. I was not a big dater. I don't get asked out by a lot of people. And that week, 5 times. 5 times, including my now husband, Ron. So we went out on Friday and we lifted weights together and then went out for lunch, and it was magical. I am telling you, it was magical. I couldn't believe the connection we had. It was just instant. We kept talking. We had such a great time, and it was instant. It was instant, and it was amazing. And as I got to know him, he was all 9 of the things I'd written down. In fact, I showed him the list, and he said, "Wow, that's me." And he goes, "I noticed that you didn't put hair on the list," because he's bald. He's been bald since he was in his 20s. It was really funny. Hair does not matter to me, so that was not an issue. But what I want to share with you is that I had no idea about manifesting, right? I didn't know what I was doing then. I just got in a great space and I let go, and I had a list of things I wanted and I got them. And I just want to share that, again, this is one of those I didn't have resistance. Okay, all of my previous relationships, and I really only had a couple. I had a serious high school boyfriend, a serious college boyfriend, a couple other miscellaneous, but they were all really good relationships, right? Like not forever relationships. Each one got a little bit better than the previous one, but I knew I would have a good marriage. I knew I'd have a great marriage. It wasn't even something that was on my mind. I had no resistance to attracting an amazing man into my life. So letting go of that resistance is huge. I feel like it's WD-40ing something, right? So it can slide right into your life. So I hope these have inspired you in your own manifesting. I want you to keep going, stay excited, release the resistance, and just know it can happen so fast. It can happen so fast. All of these stories were really about speed. Now, if you want a little bit more information about what manifesting is to me, then I definitely suggest you check out this video. This one has all of my 5 steps plus 1 for my signature program. So you can check that out, learn a little bit more about it, and we'll see you in the next video.